population is divided into non-overlapping representative groups, or strata, according to one or more criteria. Items are selected randomly from each strata, with the sample size being proportional to the relative size of the strata. Hence, each item has an equal chance of being selected.
I'm Khin.
I'm Shao.
I'm Christabelle. I'm Amy.
We're from T7! And here we have our population, a total of 167 books. We will now stratify the population by genre. General fiction, 13 out of 167, 8%. Modern play, 5 out of 167, 3%. Profound, 6 out of 167, 4%. Science fiction, 22 out of 167, 13%. Classics, 23 out of 167, 14%. Romance, 29 out of 167, 17%. Fantasy, 69 out of 167, 41%. Our aim is to see how many books per decade there are per sample. From the stratified population, we choose a sample of 100 books to analyze. To select a sample, books are selected randomly from each strata, with the sample size being proportional to the relative size of the strata. For general fiction, 8 books. For modern drama, 3 books. For profound, 4 books. For science fiction, 13 books. For classics, 14 books. For romance, 17 books. And for fantasy, 41 books. And these are our results. In our sample we have 1 book from 2 AD, 1 book from the 1590s, 1 book from the 1610s, 1 book from the 1620s, 1 book from the 1660s, 2 books from 1840s, 1 book from the 1850s, 3 books from the 1860s, 1 book from 1870s, 2 books from the 1900s, 3 books from 1920s, 1 book from 1950s, 2 books from 1960s, 5 books from the 1970s, 16 books from 1980s, 17 books from 1990s, 31 books from the 2000s, and 11 books from the 2010s. And this is stratified sampling. Advantages. The results of each strata may be analyzed separately, so it is convenient and usually gives more accurate estimates than simple random sampling. It is more likely to give a representative sample of the population. Disadvantages. It may be difficult to identify appropriate strata and select relevant stratification variables. It is time-consuming. It is more difficult to conduct and analyze results than simple random sampling. But how is stratified sampling different from quota sampling? In quota sampling, there is non-random sample selection, and this can be unreliable. The samples may be biased because not everyone gets a chance of selection. The judgment used to select subjects or units from each segment based on a specific proportion makes the technique non-probability sampling. We have now come to the end of our video presentation.
Goodbye!
And here we have the population, a total of 167 books.
Introduce yourself. 280. What are we saying?
Ah, damn it! Still my toe.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.